Hey folks, Green Stuff Gav here. We're back with another unboxing from Hatchet Partworks. Now, if you haven't seen any of the previous videos, Hatchet Partworks are a sort of a monthly magazine where you tend to get the components to build model kits or get colouring books and things like that. And they've been working with Games Workshop to release a weekly magazine called Combat Patrol, where you get figures and rules, and basically you build up a load of combat patrols to play Warhammer 40,000 10th edition. So we get the monthly subscription. You should find these in your local newsagents or big supermarket. Now we get them at random times, so which issue is live, I couldn't tell you. So we got 54, 53, 52, and 51. Now these are a tenner an issue, and sometimes, like this issue, 51, isn't very good value. We got 2 paints. But Pallid Witchface is a very good colour. Although it needs a good shake by the looks of it. That's a really nice colour for highlighting and doing bone. And Pink Horror, which is pink. But if they could have gone to 3 paints, that would have been a bit more value for money, I think. But never mind. So what we got? We've got enhancements for the orcs. So we have the orc kill team. We've got some objective markers, and their command things, which I'm not massively interested in, but that's still nice. Little cardboard things, little cardboard cutout terrain pieces, which I didn't have to do, but they did. We've got some more orky stuff and the start of the Votann, the squats. So we will get a Boomdagger Snaz wagon by the looks of it. We always get an extra unit for each combat patrol. So for the Space Marines, it was Chaplain on a bike. For the Chaos, it was the dude with the jump pack. But we get an actual truck for orcs, which is going to be nice. And we start with the Votann. And these are all the combat patrol stat sheets. So how close they are to 40k, I don't know. But I suspect they're slightly different. That's cool. Issue 51. How to paint using the paints that we just got. So we can see they're using Pit Witchflesh for all the bony bits. And Pink Horror as a highlight for red. Very interesting. Now, one of the things I really appreciate about Combat Patrol magazines, we've all seen, you know, heavy metal winners and gorgeous paint jobs, but these things are actually achievable. You know, these are good quality tabletop standard, but this is like what you and I could paint. It gives us step-by-step on how to do them, which is nice. Leagues of Votann, Leagues of Votann. Story time using combat patrols, so that's really important. And setting up a campaign using all the factions we've got. So we've had these, had this, we're doing this next. Cults next, Astral Return, World Eaters are last. As we can see, next issue we're going to have a dude and then squad of dudes. Talking of which, now I haven't actually seen any of the Votann minis properly up close. 3 different heads. This weird rack thing that they do a lot of these days. Love the style of the power axe. So we've got power axe and power sword. So we've got some weapon options. Stormbolt or plasma pistol. Or power fist. That's a nice power fist. Pointy bit. Now, combat patrol, you'll only build this one specific way, whereas obviously 40k players will build them however they like. Yeah, I like that. It's a really nice style. See what it says about how to build our dude. So again, we can see here it specifically says we use the Vulcanite disintegrator, but we do get options. Tactical rock. And again, how to paint, so including how to undercoat using the paints that we got. We could do with some more brushes, to be honest, especially considering we're on our however many 6th combat patrol with no brushes. And again, like, that's a really nice solid paint job and very doable. Very achievable. Stories. This is something they put in which I really like. So this is a little background table you can roll for your character, and a name. Again, they didn't have to write these, but they did. Grudges. So you roll for each of the other combat patrols. And then, so this is extra specifically for this character. Name and some characters, stuff. You write it in here. When you built him, paint him, and when you've played a game with him. That is his data sheet. On the back cover, you'll find judgment tokens. So you can give judgment tokens out. New scenario with orcs against how to use judgment tokens, which is really nice. And then what happens? It's interesting that they've given us cutoutable tokens. Normally, they just put them on the cardboard sections, but so Hearthkyn Warriors in the next 2 issues. Talking of which, no bases because they'll be in the next issue. So this is 2 different sprues by the look of it. We've got like back half of the bodies, a couple of front. I really like the detail, like the overlapping armour. It's really nice. And you've got your dwarf legs. The weapon's quite cool looking as well. Like, looks a big plasma thing. We've got little faces and visors. We've got several. I seem to recall these are robots. So your guys can be actual guys or they can be robots. I assume these are either closed helmets or robot heads. Don't know. Maybe the other sprue will tell us. A couple of bear heads. More of these things. Oh no, I think that might be the robot. That's smooth. Saw someone put barbarians instead. It's really nice. Little declip, that's cool. There's a few options there, so presumably we can arm them differently. Nice. 53. So It does give us the option of heads. We can see there's female ones, male ones, robot ones. So those mask things must be actual masks. Here it is. You can either put a mask in or a head. Different weapons. Again, combat patrol, you're only supposed to build them one way. So, chaos. Orcs. Actual background about Leagues of Votann. Kin are a race of clones. I haven't really read a lot about the squats. So, this is combat patrol we'll end up with. And we got a naming table. So again, don't have to do this, but they have. And it's given us plenty of options for names and speciality. Some background story for your dudes, make them individual. And their data sheet. Okay, so they've got some stuff in the core rules. Some of these magazines, you'll see these all hole punched. They go in folders, and then that should give you a rule book at the end of it. Space Marines versus Tyranids campaign rules. Nice. Then that's going to be the next issue we've got. 55, 56, 2-part for 3 bikes. Issue 54. The rest of the bits and the bases. There's these really weird 27mm bases. Plenty of options. Loads of combat options. Loads of pistol options. I don't know if in the standard book they can be given different armaments, but presumably you can. Loads of different heads. Gubbins. Yeah, while questionably priced, is can't fault Games Workshop's quality of their sculpts and production. Yeah, really nice. Cool. And the final issue, again, so we pay $9.99 per issue. So I don't know, I imagine it's 32 quid for a box of Hearthkyn. So all in all, that's good value for money. Different skin colours. All the details. And again, really nice solid paint job that. More background for Leagues of Votann, Sentinels, Dreadnoughts. Obviously the comparison between Dreadnoughts and AI. Story time about Sisters of Battle. And then Eldar versus Space Marine campaign. Eldar versus Tyranids. And a new actual mission. Nice. So Orc Boys versus a squad of Votann. And again, so this then shows like armor piercing and how cover works. And then if you win or lose. I really like this because each scenario is designed to teach you a thing. Combat Patrol was the beginning. Yeah. So next 2 issues, we'll get 3 bikes. How they're split up, I don't know. We will find out. Yeah. All in all, some not bad value. I don't know about a tenner for a character, but I seem to recall Games Workshop's about 12, 15 each, so that's good value. And the two of those, 20 quid for 10 guys if you can find them both, is good as well. So yeah, thanks for watching. Do the YouTubey things, the likes, the shares, the subscribes. But most of all, thanks for watching and have fun.